Consider the case of Travis Walton. Travis is 24 and lives with his family in Snowflake, Arizona. His reported close encounter took place on Wednesday, November 5th, 1975. He and 6 co-workers were thinning overgrowth in an area south of Heber.
It was a little after 6 in the evening. We were coming out of the woods here, up this road, and we saw this glow through the trees. And when we got in the opening here, we could see this object hovering over here, stopped the truck, and, you know, everybody, wow.
What did it look like? How big was it? How bright?
It was about 20 feet, 25 feet in diameter, about 8 or 10 feet thick. It was a disc-shaped object, glowing golden color.
The encounter took place in the Sitgreaves National Forest in eastern Arizona on the edge of the Mogollon Rim. It's a seismically active area with quartz in the bedrock, a suitable condition for luminous displays.
I could hear a sound when I got up closer, but it suddenly got louder and started to move in a kind of a wobbling motion, and that scared me, and I decided, you know, I'd better get out of there. And so I raised up to go, and I just felt a numbing shock, a kind of and blacked out. My co-workers, the guys in the truck, said they saw a beam come out of this craft and hit me in the head and the chest and knocked me backward.
This painting is one of several done by Travis's crew boss, Mike Rodgers, who says he saw the beam strike Travis.
It just knocked him backwards through the air, like as if some sort of an explosion had gone off in front of him. It was that dramatic.
If you put an object, a foreign object, near it,
a person
or whatnot, yeah, and it changed the characteristics of the electromagnetic field in the vicinity of this thing, it could give, quote unquote, it would be possible for a discharge to occur. Now that would mean that a portion of the ball became unstable and not the whole ball.
After seeing Travis struck, the other crew members did not want to investigate anything. They left the area.
The next thing I knew, I was regaining consciousness, apparently inside the craft, and I was in a great deal of pain. I didn't just come to right, snap to. And I discovered these 3 creatures standing over me. I lashed out at them. I was backing away from them, and they came towards me. And I was really hysterical, and I screamed at them to get away from me, and they just stopped at one point there and just turned around and left the room, just all at once.
Dr. Persinger is a neurobiologist. He explains Travis's experience this way. The brain works on electronic principles, with the hippocampus being especially sensitive to stimulation. Any abnormal electrical activity, such as a luminous display, could alter memory and possibly result in hallucinations. But Travis was missing for 5 days as people searched the woods for him. On November 11th, Travis called his brother-in-law from this phone booth.
I found myself on the pavement outside of the town of Heber. I was laying beside the road, and when I looked up, I saw a craft hovering above the road there, and then it just shot straight up outside.
In the 5 days he was missing, Travis remembers only 2 hours, and those, he says, were aboard the spacecraft. Where was he the rest of the time?
A person with stimulation in this area could have amnesia for several days, but during that period he could undergo completely normal activity. And what he might do is after 4 or 5 days of amnesia, he may wake up and suddenly find himself in an odd place. But during the amnesic event, he may have undergone more or less normal kinds of behaviors. He just wouldn't remember it.
There is no doubt Travis Walton believes he is telling the truth about what he experienced. He doesn't accept the Persinger-Brady theory.
Well, if they had evidence, more conclusive than what I, am able to gather from what happened to me, then I would be willing to accept it. It's just that I accept the beings in a craft explanation because it just works better, it fits better. It's so much, it's obvious that that's what it was to me.
What Dr. Persinger offers is a scientific alternative, a theory which may explain many of these mysterious sightings and encounters. But since scientists do deal in probabilities and not in absolutes, the most Dr. Persinger can say is that it's unlikely that Travis encountered a spacecraft. That possibility, however, cannot be totally dismissed. Some experts want more proof before they'll totally accept the theory of electrically charged luminous displays.
If we could definitely establish that they occur along fault lines or along rather definite regions of geologic activity, plate tectonic activity, then I'd be much more jumping up and down and saying this is probably it.
This 2020 segment began with an excerpt from ABC News World News Tonight about mysterious lights sighted and filmed over New Zealand. TV pictures were studied by scientists there. Dr. Hynek's own Center for UFO Studies looked into that sighting and published a report.
While investigating the mysterious New Zealand lights, we found a report published by Hynek's Center which shows the flight path of an airplane from which the lights were filmed. Then we obtained a geologic map of New Zealand showing active faults and several volcanoes nearby. Earthquakes are common. When we brought the flight map and the fault map together, we discovered the flight path paralleled the faults. We do